Hey everyone, welcome back to Sansen Senpai New. After everything that went down in Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2, from the chaos of the Shibuya incident to Satoru Gojo being sealed inside the prison realm, the world of Jujutsu has completely shifted. Now, with Kenjaku pulling the strings and launching the deadly culling game, we're stepping into a brutal new phase where sorcerers and awakened players are forced into life or death battles across multiple colonies. At the center of it all, we've got Yuji Itadori carrying Sukuna inside him, Megumi Fushiguro searching for a way to save his sister Sumiki, and a growing sense that the rules of this world are about to be broken even further. This season feels darker, more strategic, and way more unpredictable. Let's see how far they're willing to go to survive this twisted game. At the Janine family estate, a tense and suffocating atmosphere hung in the air as a man openly tore into Maki. He didn't hold back his words at all, mocking her beauty while insulting her ability to support men. In his twisted view, a woman who couldn't stay behind a man and support him properly was nothing more than something disposable. Someone who, in his words, even deserved to be struck down from behind. Despite that, he surprisingly praised Mai. He claimed she was different, saying she also had beauty just like Maki, but unlike her sister, Mai understood her place. Even if she acted strong on the outside, he believed she still accepted that she was ultimately a woman who should remain behind men. That man was Naoya Zenin, a special grade 1 Jujutsu sorcerer. His arrogance didn't stop there. When Naoya finally arrived late, two members of the family immediately lashed out at him. The situation was already dire. Naobito Zenin, the head of the Zenin clan and the 26th clan leader, was on the verge of death. Every second mattered. On his left stood Ogi Zenin, Maki and Mai's father. On his right was Jinichi Zenin, Toji's older brother. Both of them were also special grade 1 sorcerers, and both were clearly furious at Naoya's attitude. But Naoya didn't care at all. He coldly stated that it wouldn't matter whether he arrived or not, because in the end, he was destined to become the next clan head anyway. In his eyes, the so-called older generation were nothing but useless failures. He went further, openly insulting Ogi and Jinichi. He mocked Ogi's daughters without hesitation, and sneered at Jinichi's appearance, saying he was so ugly it was hard to even look at him. He even went as far as wishing Toji had been born in Jinichi's place instead. That final insult pushed the two men over the edge. The air instantly grew heavy as anger boiled over, and the situation nearly escalated into violence right there inside the mansion. At that moment, an elderly attendant stepped forward and interrupted them. He announced that Naobito Zenin had passed away only minutes earlier. The man's name was Furadate, and he was in charge of holding Naobito's will. He explained that once all three key figures were present, Ogi Zenin, Jinichi Zenin, and Naoya Zenin, the will would be officially read. Now that everyone was gathered, there was no reason to delay. So he began reading. According
Is my dead?
It's the clan head you should be concerned about. And Maki's the one who's nearly dead, not mine.
Is that so? Well, I'm glad to hear it. Maki's a real beauty, but she's no good. She can't support a man. Any woman who can't walk humbly behind her man deserves to be stabbed in the back and killed. Now, Mai's a great woman in that regard. She has the same face and the same great rack as Maki. She may put on a brave face, but she understands her place as a woman.
You're late. Where were you, and what have you been doing? Your father's in critical condition.
Sorry about that. But what difference does it make if I'm here or not? Either way, I'm gonna be the next head of the Zenin clan. All my older brothers are a bunch of knuckleheads. And uncle, you're his little brother, but you haven't got what it takes. And your daughters are out of the question. And Jinichi, well, you don't look the part. If you had Toji's looks, it would be a different story. My father's dying. Cut me some slack, would you? We're all a little on edge.
I see everyone's finally here. I've been informed that Naobito Zenin, head of the Zenin clan, has unfortunately taken his last breath. I am Furudate. I was entrusted by Naobito to read his will to you, his chosen family members, upon his passing. Ogi Zenin, Jinichi...
In Naobito's final wishes, the 27th head of the Zenin clan would be Naoya Zenin. Along with that position, Naoya would inherit the entire clan's assets. However, there was a condition. This transfer of authority required approval from either Ogi or Jinichi. But the will didn't stop there. It also stated that in the event of Satoru Gojo's death, or if he lost consciousness or the ability to function for any reason, a separate agreement involving Toji Fushiguro would come into effect. In that scenario, Megumi Fushiguro would be appointed as clan head, and all assets would be transferred to him. Naoya was stunned. He already understood something very clearly. Ogi and Jinichi would never choose him if they had another option. In fact, they would rather hand everything to a stranger, or even to Megumi, than allow him to lead the clan. Soon after, one of the servants informed Naoya that Megumi was currently on a mission in Tokyo, tracking down Yuji Itadori, the vessel of Sukuna. Naoya immediately made his decision. He ordered the servant to report to higher-ups that he would personally handle the situation. In his mind, Megumi would likely be near Yuji anyway. If he struck during the chaos unfolding in Tokyo, he could eliminate Megumi as well. To him, Tokyo was already a living hell. Death everywhere. No order. No consequences. It was the perfect place to act without hesitation. If he succeeded, nothing would stand in the way of him becoming clan head. Elsewhere, Yuji Itadori sat quietly on a set of stairs, his body and mind weighed down by exhaustion and despair. That was when Choso approached him, asking about his injuries. Yuji explained that thanks to Sukuna's presence inside him, his wounds had stabilized for now. He could even feel Sukuna growing stronger within him, like something constantly evolving. Choso suggested that Yuji should return to Jujutsu High, and that he would take care of recovering the remains of his younger brothers himself. There was no need for Yuji to stay involved. But Yuji refused, not because of Choso, but because of Sukuna. He believed Sukuna was planning something. And after everything he had done, he felt he no longer had the right to stay beside others. He reminded Choso that he had once killed 2 of his brothers. Choso didn't blame him. For him, it had been an accident. As far as he was concerned, the bond of brotherhood didn't deepen.
Zenin, and now you're Zenin. Since you are all gathered here today, I shall begin the reading immediately. Unless, of course, any of you have an objection to my doing so. First item. Naoya Zenin shall be made the 27th head of the Zenin clan. Second item. Naoya shall inherit all assets and cursed tools that are currently stored in either Jujutsu High or the Zenin clan's forbidden vaults. In addition to that, Naoya shall require agreement from either Ogi or Jinichi Zenin before making use of any contents.
I guess that's fine.
However, in the event that Satoru Gojo dies before I do, or otherwise loses the use of his mental faculties, then the covenant with Toji Fushiguro shall be fulfilled. Megumi Fushiguro will be welcomed into the Zenin clan, and that same person will become the new head of the Zenin clan and inherit its assets.
What the hell? Those guys have no balls. They think some unknown brat as the head would be better than me, so they ain't doing jack about it. Where's Megumi and what is he doing now?
I don't know much. Only that he's on a mission to find Yuji Itadori, somewhere in the Tokyo
And
area.
who's that?
He is the vessel of Sukuna.
Then go tell the big shots that Naoya Zenin is going to kill Sukuna's vessel. And since Megumi is with Sukuna's vessel, I'll kill them both together. Tokyo is in pandemonium right now. People can die any time for any reason there. Once I kill him, the rest will work itself out. The Zenin clan belongs to me.
Itadori, what will you be doing?
Yuji, how are your injuries?
Fine, except for where I took that black flash, but I'm healing fast. It's probably because of Sukuna. I can feel how his power has grown stronger.
And on forgiveness or resentment. After that, the 2 of them continued their mission, exterminating cursed spirits wherever they appeared. The more they eliminated, the better. Yuji lured a group of curses into an underground tunnel, drawing them into position. Once they were grouped together, Choso unleashed a devastating blood manipulation attack, piercing through nearly all of them in one strike. The last remaining curse tried to fight back, but Yuji finished it off with a single punch. Choso, recalling his earlier fight with Yuji, was impressed again. Not only by Yuji's raw strength, but also by how refined his cursed energy control had become. He genuinely believed Yuji was something beyond human, a true monster in combat, even though his body was still far from fully healed. He praised Yuji openly and, in a rare moment of emotion, called him his younger brother. Yuji, slightly confused, asked how many times he intended to keep calling him that. Choso simply replied that he would keep saying it forever. Then he added something more personal, telling Yuji to remember, insisting that his real father likely had a similar mark on his forehead. Before they could continue, a terrifying presence suddenly appeared above them. Yuji initially thought it might be Gojo, but immediately realized it was something even more dangerous. It was Yuta Akatsu. Yuta was surprised to find not just Yuji, but others as well. He dropped down from above, the impact cracking the ground beneath him. Naoya immediately recognized him and announced that he was on the same side, even introducing himself as Maki's cousin. His objective was the same, Yuji Itadori's execution. Yuji finally understood who Yuta was. He was the second-year student Megumi had once mentioned, a special-grade sorcerer, just like Gojo. Choso quickly told Yuji to run. He would hold Naoya back himself. Fighting someone like Naoya without understanding his speed would be too dangerous. Yuji, on the other hand, needed to escape rather than engage Yuta head-on. Fighting someone like Gojo's equal would be suicide. Deep down, Choso felt a strange sense of relief. If Yuji left now, he wouldn't have to fight other sorcerers, and Choso wouldn't have to feel conflicted about it either. He told Yuji they would meet again later. Naoya, meanwhile, assured Yuta he wouldn't interfere. In return,
Yuji, don't worry about me. Go back to Jujutsu High. I'd like to retrieve the remains of Shoso and the others.
I'm not worried. It's not an issue of me wanting to return or not. Sukuna's plotting something that uses Fushiguro. Plus, I've killed so many people.
How are you going to feel when someone you save goes on to kill someone else later?
I don't think I can stay with the others anymore. How do you feel, Choso? You know I killed your little brothers too.
It's fine. That was an accident. Aso and Kechizu would have done the same if they were in my position. Forgiving you or not doesn't matter. That's what it means to be siblings.
Let's go. We need to reduce the number of cursed spirits.
He asked Yuta not to report anything to higher authorities immediately after killing Yuji, because he still had someone else he wanted to lure out. Yuta agreed. After assigning Choso to Naoya, Yuta immediately focused on Yuji. Choso fired another blood-piercing attack to block him, but Naoya destroyed it effortlessly. He explained that using such a technique required preparation and blood consumption, meaning Choso had already put himself at a disadvantage. In Naoya's mind, Choso was already cornered. Choso responded coldly, saying Naoya would fall too, because anyone who harmed his brothers would not leave alive. Meanwhile, Yuta and Yuji finally clashed. Yuji dodged a blade strike and noticed how similar Yuta's movement style was to Maki. Yuta, in turn, remarked that Yuji looked physically weak, yet didn't feel weak at all. Yuji sensed the same thing about Yuta. No physical strength could be detected, yet an overwhelming amount of cursed energy filled his body. Reinforcing oneself with cursed energy was normal, but Yuta's level was entirely different. Yuji concluded that they were complete opposites. Yuta revealed something even more shocking: his cursed energy exceeded even Gojo's. However, unlike Gojo, who possessed the 6 eyes, Yuta constantly lost energy during techniques. In real combat, Gojo was still unmatched, because Yuta's energy could be depleted, while Gojo's effectively could not. Then the battle resumed. As Yuta began overpowering him, Yuji suddenly remembered Nanami's final words, trusting him with what came next. Yuji apologized silently, admitting he still couldn't die yet. The fight escalated again. Yuji grabbed a knife from a nearby car and infused it with cursed energy, recalling Gojo's advice not to rely too heavily on cursed tools and to focus on energy control instead. Both fighters clashed fiercely until their weapons shattered completely. Yuta was genuinely surprised, realizing that Yuji, as Gojo's student, would not be an easy opponent. Yuji immediately took advantage of the opening, moving in unarmed. But suddenly, Rika appeared, restraining Yuji tightly and locking him in place. Immobilized, Yuji could not move. In that moment, Yuta stepped forward, picked up a broken blade, and drove it into Yuji's body. Then, quietly, he apologized. The moment the broken blade
sensed he was powerful when we fought, but now he's added subtlety to it. He has unfaltering control of his cursed energy, and exceptional physical strength. He's like a war god. Crazy that he wasn't in top shape until now. You're very impressive, little brother.
Do you have to keep saying that?
As often as it takes. Remember, he should have been there. Your father should have also had stitches in his forehead, too.
Don't tell me Megumi's not here. Am I the first to arrive? How's that even possible? He's way too slow.
Who's this guy? Why is he looking for Fushiguro?
What are you doing out here anyway? You don't exactly blend in. Planning an escape?
Escape?
What, you don't know? You've been sentenced to death. After all, you no longer have Satoru's protection.
There are lots of sorcerers who have been saved due to Gojo's influence, pride, and whims.
My business is with Megumi. So to be blunt, I couldn't care less if you live or die. Then again, I don't want you running around willy-nilly, so I'm gonna break your legs for now.
What do you want Fushiguro for?
I need him to die. But it'd be great if you could sign some papers before he goes. By the way, I heard he's looking for you.
He's certainly faster than us, but something is off.
Probably his technique.
You're doing better than I expected. I honestly underestimated you. I know the vessel's got stuff going on. But what's that thing beside him? I guess I'll crank up the speed a bit more.
Am I feeling Gojo? No. It's even creepier. 3 of you? I thought you'd be alone. Who is that?
Whoever he is, it's bad.
What are your relationships to Itadori?
So he's also here to execute Yuji.
blade pierced into Yuji's body, everything seemed to freeze for an instant. Yuji's expression tightened in shock as the impact sank in, his body reacting to the sudden pain and pressure. The surrounding air felt heavier, as if the entire battlefield had narrowed down to that single point of contact. Yuta stood there for a brief moment, steady but tense, as Rika still restrained Yuji, preventing any movement. The situation had shifted completely in an instant, leaving no room for hesitation or escape. Yuji struggled against the hold, trying to process what had just happened, while the weight of the attack forced him to remain in place. The intensity of the confrontation only continued to rise, with no clear opening for either side to back down. And in that suffocating silence of battle, the clash between them remained unresolved, hanging at the edge of something far more dangerous about to unfold. Rika continued holding Yuji tightly in place, her presence overwhelming and inhuman, making it impossible for him to break free. Yuji struggled instinctively, but his movements were already slowing as the pain from the wound spread through his body. Yuta remained right in front of him, looking down with a calm but conflicted expression. For a moment, there was no arrogance in his face, only quiet resolve mixed with something closer to apology. Then, softly, he spoke. He apologized to Yuji. It wasn't said in a mocking or casual way. It carried weight, like someone carrying out a decision they had already accepted long ago. Yuta explained that this was necessary, that there was no other way to move forward under the current circumstances. Yuji, still restrained and struggling to stay conscious, tried to understand what was happening. The pain made his thoughts scatter, but something about Yuta's tone didn't feel like pure hostility. It felt like a decision made under orders, not personal hatred. Without dragging it out any further, Yuta shifted his cursed energy. A warm, reversed flow began to gather around the wound he had just inflicted. The energy didn't feel destructive. It felt restorative, almost unnatural in how it rewrote damage instead of causing it. Slowly, Yuji's body began to stabilize instead of deteriorating. The fatal edge of the strike was being undone, as if death itself had been briefly paused and turned backward. Rika's grip loosened slightly, though she remained ready, still watching Yuji carefully as if—
Hold up, pal. I'm on your side. Your name is Okotsu, right?
Okotsu! The second year Fushiguro talked about. A special great sorcerer. Just like Gojo. And you are?
I'm Naoya Zenin, Maki's cousin. And I'm here to kill Itadori, just like you are.
Yuji, we have to run.
So relax. I'll stay out of your way.
The blonde one's fast with some kind of trick. We need to avoid getting into a chase. I'll stall. Now go.
Will you be okay?
And in return for staying out of your way after you kill Itadori, maybe you could hold off a bit before reporting it. I want to use him as bait for someone else.
I'll be fine. You're the one they've come here for, not me. Akotsu. Just worry about getting away from him. He seems like the same type as Gojo. You'll die if you fight him.
I should have kept quiet about Megami. Me and my big mouth.
My plan keeps Yuji from fighting another human, and prevents him from feeling guilty toward me. He's such a handful. Meet up at yesterday's spot, Yuji.
Sounds fine. I'll leave that one to you then. Now! He's fast! With that sword drawn too! He's pretty quick. I planned to crush him when he broke into a run.
I was trying to block Akotsu's path, but he read my move.
I was watching you earlier. That's blood manipulation, right? Only I can't figure out why you can do it. Still, it's not that scary aside from piercing blood. And producing piercing blood takes convergence. There's a long build-up. I don't think there's anything left to say. It's checkmate. You're going to die.
You're the one who will die. Did you think you could go after my little brother and then leave this place alive?
I'm sure I was able to cut him. He's like Maki. type, do I? Even without raw power, he has an insane amount of cursed energy. I actually am on the weaker side. He's enhancing himself with cursed energy to cover for his lack of strength. Everyone does that to some degree, but when he does it, it's the exact opposite of me. Have you...
Confirming the process was complete. The overwhelming pressure in the air gradually eased, but the tension between the three of them never truly disappeared. At the same time, elsewhere on the battlefield, Choso was still locked in confrontation with Naoya Zenin. Naoya moved with terrifying speed, his attacks sharp and precise, each motion flowing like something inhuman. Choso struggled to keep up, realizing that this was not a normal opponent whose movements could be easily read. Every strike carried shifting rhythm and unpredictable acceleration, forcing him constantly on defense. Choso fired another blood technique, trying to force Naoya back, but the attack was once again deflected or avoided with minimal effort. Naoya analyzed everything in real time, already understanding the mechanics behind Choso's cursed techniques. To him, it wasn't just combat, it was calculation. He explained coldly that once he understood the pattern, Choso's techniques would only become more predictable with each exchange. But Choso didn't back down. Even while taking damage, his expression remained firm. Naoya might have been faster, but Choso's determination didn't waver. Every attack he launched carried the weight of his resolve to protect Yuji, no matter how one-sided the fight seemed. Back near Yuji, the cursed energy surrounding him continued to stabilize his condition. His breathing, which had been fading moments earlier, gradually returned to a more controlled rhythm. The boundary between life and death had been forcibly rewritten through Yuta's technique. Yuta stepped back slightly, watching carefully as the process completed. His expression remained serious, as if confirming that everything had gone according to plan. Yuji, still weakened and disoriented, slowly began to regain awareness of his surroundings. The immediate threat of death had passed, but the confusion of the situation lingered heavily in his mind. Rika finally released him completely, her massive presence fading back as if she had fulfilled her role. For a brief moment, there was only silence between Yuji and Yuta. The battlefield around them was still chaotic, but within that small space, something more complicated hung in the air, trust that hadn't fully formed, and intentions that hadn't been completely revealed. And while one confrontation had shifted into uncertainty, the battle between Choso and Naoya continued to escalate elsewhere, with neither side showing any sign of backing down.
Noticed? I have more cursed energy than your teacher, Gojo. However, Gojo has his 6 eyes, so he wastes practically no energy at all when he activates his techniques. He's the best there is when it comes to performance. Unlike your teacher, I can run out of cursed energy. Enough chit-chat.
The better the sorcerer, the harder it is to read the flow of their cursed energy. Yours will be hard to read as well.
That's because the better the sorcerer, the more precise their cursed energy. That means you can't predict their attack until the last second. But with this guy, there's cursed energy constantly rising from his entire body, even his sword. It's not even a question of reading his moves. He can land decisive blows with all his attacks, and he can reduce all damage to the bare minimum.
You take it from here.
Sorry, Akotsu, but I can't afford to die just yet.
There are some types who center their training around the use of a weapon. But you don't want to become dependent on a cursed tool and then neglect your manipulation of cursed energy. So Slaughter Demon is just an emergency measure.
You've never taught me this! You're putting too much focus into the blade. It broke? Of course it did. He's one of Gojo's students. I guess you're not going down easily. The wound's deep, but none of my organs are falling out. And now we're both unarmed. I can win! We're playing, Rika. That's all.
Rika!
What is this thing? A Shikigami? Where did it come from?
Hold him still.
I can't move. So strong.
I'm sorry. Itadori.
Older brothers less competent than younger brothers serve no purpose.
I can't understand how you never loved your brothers.
Please report Itadori's
That's
death.
when all the distortion started.
Don't look down on me. Start by saving me. This is checkmate.
Sumiki has been drawn into this game too.
Alright, that is for today's reaction. Thank you so much for spending your time with me here on Sunset Liu. I truly appreciate every single one of you who watches, like, and support the channel. It really means a lot of and give me motivation to create content like this. So, if you enjoy the videos, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any upcoming reactions. Your support help me help the channel grow and bring more amazing content in the future. Let me know your true theory or what you want me to react to, like in the comment below. I would love to hear from you. Take care, stay awesome, and I will see you in the next video with more exciting reaction coming on your way. Peace, bye bye.